Alright, Lazav, the Multifarious versus Izoni, Thousand Eyed. We're up against Jolt539, a fellow YouTuber, and we're going to pitch two of the new commanders from Guilds of Ravnica against each other. Turn 1 Sol Ring from Izoni, and I think we'll go for the same thing. We'll get out our Choked Estuary though and reveal the Swamp. Make sure it doesn't come in tap next turn. And then we'll pass over to our opponent. So what Izoni wants to do is, we'll just pass priority there, is they want to load up the graveyard with dredge and mulch and things like that. And the more creatures that get into the graveyard, the more valuable Izoni will be when it's cast. I haven't played with it yet, but I have built a deck. I just need to run it properly. I'm still getting this Lazav on the go. And speaking of, do we get Lazav running? No, I think I want to get Search for Azcanti out. And yeah, I think we get the Search for Azcanti out. I think I've already misplayed there. Probably should have got the Fetid Pools out. Not going to cycle it though, we'll just have to take the hit on that. Should have got the tap land out there. The beginning of this game, Magic Online was going all funny and skew-whiff and whatever else you want, whatever other adjectives you want to use. So I was in a little bit of a rush to make sure that we weren't holding up our opponent too much. And Grapple with the Past is a card that I don't have in my Azcanti deck, so I probably should. That's a good instant to get in there, and already getting into some dredge effects here. Golgari Grave Troll, a massive dredge 6. I imagine that will be getting dredged at the beginning of this turn, but perhaps not. Yep, they went for the dredge. So as you can see, you load up 6 more cards from the top of your library into the graveyard. And how many creatures have we got now? That's 1 and 2. Yeah, just 2 so far, but Ramanap will allow... what's the name of this commander? Yeah, Izoni to play lands from the graveyard. This is a Crucible of Worlds on a 2/3 creature. So it'd be nice to get rid of that as soon as possible. And we'll see what we get off the top of our Search to Azcanta. This, of course, is a good way of filtering the top of our library. And we went into a Sunken Ruins. How much mana will we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn will help us with a Tunnel Vision. I think we can get down this tap land now, which we should have done last turn, and then get into a Careful Study. And we can ditch the Invisible Stalker and the Jace's Archivist, and then play out the Viscera Seer and pass over to our opponent. Yeah, the Careful Study is a nice card because not only is it card draw, but it's a discard effect as well. And oftentimes you don't want to play the creatures that you're playing with Lazav. Lazav, for those of you who don't know, is a 1/3 Dimir commander. When you enter, or when it enters, you surveil 1, and then you pay X, and it becomes the copy of a target creature card, where X is the CMC of the creature that it's copying. And it keeps that ability as well, so you can keep changing as long as you have the mana. And so you want to get creature cards such as Invisible Stalker into the graveyard, and then once you have Lazav in play, you can pay an extra 2, turn it into a copy of an Invisible Stalker, and give it, of course, hexproof and unblockable. And then Invisible Stalker will then be able to swing in, and you'll be able to turn Lazav into something like Phage the Untouchable, or some kind of big Infector, or a Phyrexian Dreadnought, or 12/12 for 1 mana, something like that. And hopefully get lethal on your opponent without them being able to do much about it, especially with the Invisible Stalker having hexproof. And do we want to put Negate into the graveyard? No, I don't think we do. I think we'd like to have Negate. So we'll draw into that. We've got the Sunken Ruins now. So I think what we'd like to do is go for Tunnel Vision on... We have Invisible Stalker. So I think we would like to go for Phyrexian Dreadnought. Off the Tunnel Vision. That of course will leave Phyrexian Dreadnought on top of our library and mill everything else. So we might be looking for a win within the next few turns, hopefully. Have to just hope that this doesn't screw up on us. But luckily it doesn't. I have had that happen a few times and it just picks a random card for you, which is very annoying. And oh, how many do we get there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, about 20 cards. And we'll just wait for Izoni to tell us to put all that in the graveyard. Shove all that into the bin. And now we just need to hope that our opponent doesn't get down a Bajuka Bog, or what else will we be worried about? Something like the Ooze. I forget what the Ooze is called. Scavenging Ooze. Any kind of graveyard hate, really. Okay, and looking to get the regeneration trigger on the Grave Troll. I'm not sure why. Remove a counter from it and regenerate it. Is that just a means of killing it? Yes, it is. Okay, so just wanted it back in the graveyard to get the option to dredge it. And that is, of course, a means of loading up even more. Got an Eternal Witness into there, and a bunch of lands, so, oh, what else is that? Signet. Yeah, getting pretty unlucky with the dredges there, I think. Assassin's Trophy. I didn't buy Assassin's Trophy on release because it was an obscene price, something like $25 US, about 25 ticks, something like that. And it's since gone down to about 15, so I'm going to wait another few days, wait for it to go down even more. And yeah, we'll see where we are with it then. Not next turn, we should draw into... Do we want to put it into our graveyard? Yeah, we'll put it straight into the graveyard. I was wondering if we wanted to just play it out and then sack it with the Viscera Seer to get the scry. But I think we're okay just putting it straight into the bin. Yeah, and we draw into a Hero's Downfall, so that's fine. Don't think I actually mind killing Ramunap, to be honest. But right now we'll just get out a Lazav, I think. And then in response to any kind of targeted removal, we can turn it into the, where is it? The Invisible Stalker, which will give it hexproof. But first we Surveil. And we can put Phyrexian Arena on top. Don't mind drawing into that. And there's not much it can do in the graveyard for us. But in the meantime, I think... Yeah, we can't Hero's Downfall now, unfortunately. I think we'll just go for Training Grounds. That makes activated abilities cost 2 generic mana less, which will take everything down to... Well, it can't take it down to 0, but it can take it down to 1 with regards to things that are CMC 2 or less. And now I think we just hold up Negate and turning Lazav into Invisible Stalker. See if our opponent goes for any targeted removal at the end. But probably just going for a tap land. Yeah, probably going to tap in the Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, that I forget the name of the card. The Tunnel Vision really did some work for us there. We not only got effectively a tutor in Phyrexian Dreadnought, but we also got some other things into the graveyard. We got Sire of Stagnation, which might be useful in the late game. Bloodline Keeper is part of a combo with Necrotic Ooze and Grimgrin. Necrotic Ooze is 4 mana, and it gives your creature, your Lazav, the activated abilities of all creatures in your graveyard. So if you have a Bloodline Keeper, you can of course tap it and throw out a vampire token, and then with the Grimgrin you can untap and sack the token that you just made to untap Grimgrin, and then turn it into the Bloodline Keeper, tap it down, and just keep doing that over and over again, because the Necrotic Ooze has all those abilities. And it can just keep doing them over and over again, and basically turns your commander into as big a creature as you want it to be, and then turn it into something that's got unblockable, swing through, and that's the type of thing you can do in this deck. It's just a case of remembering all the different combos and different pieces that you can go after. We do not want to put Phyrexian Arena into our graveyard, and we don't want to transform it either. I do like the filtering. Now we'll go for Invisible Stalker. Turning Lazav into an Invisible Stalker. And see if our opponent wants us to. I think we can do this at instant speed. Alright, so Hero's Downfall. So all we do is go after the Invisible Stalker again in response to that, and it will give it hexproof, and now that will fizzle the Hero's Downfall. It should do, yes. And then we turn it into a an Invisible Stalker again. And do we want to use some mana to go for this? I think we do. So we'll just Phyrexian Arena, and then we swing in with Lazav, which is unblockable. And then once blockers have been declared, we go for the Phyrexian Dreadnought. And now we have just hit our opponent for 12 commander damage, and we'll turn it back into an Invisible Stalker. Ready to do the same thing again next turn. So our opponent really needs a board wipe now, although we do have a negate. So it looks like we've managed to win this one, but you can't count your chickens yet. You never know what's going to happen in these games. But that really is the type of thing that you want to do with Lazav. I'm going to carry on playing it for a few more games, uploading more content for Lazav for all the new commanders. Or, I tell a lie, not for all of them, for a select few ones, around about 5 of them, I'll be uploading content for. And not sure if Lazav is something that I'm going to get bored of quite quickly because of things like this. I don't know how much my opponent can really interact with something like this, but we at least get to see Izoni. And yeah, only get the 3 insects unfortunately, but if you load up your deck with creatures, then those dredge and self-mill effects can really get a lot of tokens out there with Izoni, and then something like the Skull Clamp or something like that can really help you with your draws. We'll see what's on top with the search to counter. Disallow, we definitely want to draw into. And we don't want to flip. And we'll always yield to the Phyrexian Arena. Play the island. Disallow is in here. It's obviously a counter spell, but it will counter something like Bojuka Bog as well. We also have Stifle in the deck, which is a single blue. But looks like we're just going to go in for lethal here. Blockers are declared. So we'll go for the Phyrexian Dreadnought. And there we go, we win that game. So like I say, if we keep winning in these types of manners, it's not something that's all that interactive and therefore not all that fun in my eyes. But at least it shows you what the type of thing Lazav can do. So at least for a few games I will try and show you that to the best of my ability. But as for the continued support of Lazav on this channel, I'm not sure if I'm really going to carry on with it, because I like to upload interactive games that are fun to watch. But ultimately it's down to you, I suppose. If you really like to see this Lazav deck in action, you can obviously let me know, and I'll keep uploading it until I think people are getting bored with it, and I'll find that out. If you hit the like button, if you keep watching the videos, if I see the views keep going up and up, then obviously people are still interested, therefore I'll keep uploading content. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.